I love music, but I have to confess I don't really get the fantasy of being a bard. Like, the gameplay function of bards, basically support mages, that I get. Easy to see the appeal in handing out buffs and debuffs in the same way one can derive joy from healing or handing out advantages and disadvantages. But I find it fundamentally difficult to dream of being a bard in a world where you can throw fireballs with your mind and smite exists. Like, bardic inspiration is cool, but it ain't fireball cool. In a similar paradox, I listen to music near constantly, but borderline never play rhythm games, at least the traditional ones. If it's got a note highway, I ain't interested. The only rhythm games I gravitate toward are those that bring the mechanics in new and interesting directions. Things like Crypt of the Necrodancer or Thumper. Thumper rules, by the way. If you've never checked it out, give it a shot. Which brings us to Hi-Fi Rush, the new arena action game shadow dropped by Bethesda during the latest Xbox Direct. I started playing it last night and it is supremely awesome. This totally bizarre mashup of a brawler, baby driver, and fully coolie straight out of a cel-shaded Dreamcast. I'm not typically one for the anime aesthetic that seems to be oversaturating all of creation at the moment, but damn if I didn't smile every 30 seconds playing this game. I woke up in the wee hours of this morning, and while lying there trying to fall back to sleep, I got to thinking. What if we could make bards work like a rhythm game? What if we could take aspects of that genre and fold it back into D&D or any other TTRPG the same way Hi-Fi Rush did for a brawler? See, Hi-Fi does something really smart with its gameplay, not only tying attacks to the beat, which is pretty straightforward, but by not punishing the player for messing up. Missing the beat simply delays your attack until the next beat, forcing you to fight with the music. You know, almost like it was turn-based or something. In Hi-Fi, we have basic light and heavy attacks done on the beat, chaining them together into longer combos. Snap, 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 snap. But doing a basic attack once per round is just D&D, like that's how the basic game works. So incorporating that into the game wouldn't change anything. So what if instead of rewarding the player for attacking on the beat, we instead reward them for keeping the beat? Maybe round 1, your basic attacks only do d4s, but on the second round it rolls d6s and then d8s, getting stronger for every round we stay on the beat. Snap, 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 snap. The other really clever thing Hi-Fi does is introduce rests into the pattern. So attacking 4 times in a row does one combo, but attacking rest attack does an entirely different move. In this case, a launcher that sends enemies into the air. We can do the same thing for our baby driver bard. If the player attacks and then rests and then attacks, we can have it do a different effect than simply jamming the attack button. We'll have to come up with a different name though, because taking a rest is already a thing in D&D. Maybe a beat, attack, beat, attack. Though this does reveal a flaw in the design. Our new bard doesn't really get going until round 3 or 4. The wizard is over there opening up with Fireball on round 1, and you're just strumming your guitar like the warm-up act at Lollapalooza. Does Lollapalooza still exist? Do kids know what that is? Point being that we can take this limitation and turn it into a strength. What if instead of having spells and spell slots, you had musical patterns to act out, moving with the music your character hears in their head? So instead of casting Bardic Inspiration each turn and giving someone a measly d6 to add to their rolls, you could cast it once every 3 turns and give it to everyone. So attack, rest, attack not only does damage, on the 3rd round it strikes a power chord that gives the rest of your party Bardic Inspiration. Or if you did rest, attack, rest, you'd do some big AoE move that forces every enemy to make a concentration check. The patterns would need some thought and rigorous playtesting, but it does a far greater job of capturing that rockstar fantasy than plucking a harp or whatever. With even just a little thought, you can see how this could be expanded to include all types of actions, spells, and abilities. The biggest problem I have with the classes in things like D&D and Pathfinder is they don't really feel like playing their class. Being a wizard in D&D doesn't feel anything like being a wizard. It feels like playing an accountant. And I think that's the main reason I've never gravitated towards bards. I love music. I listen to hours and hours of it every single day. It's one of the reasons I include the playlist at the back of my books. But playing a bard has nothing to do with music. It's just flavor text slathered over what would otherwise be pretty mundane spells. But by pulling bardic inspiration of our own from elsewhere, we can change things up a bit, capture some of that music, and get back on the beat. I'm Mike Laguero. Thanks for watching. Just a quick video this time around. This channel is more or less on hiatus, so enjoy it while it lasts. If you want to encourage me to make more videos, consider picking up my latest book, Eye of Syl. It's an epic fantasy that is sure to capture the imaginations of any D&D players out there. I put entirely too much work into it, and I'm actually pretty proud of how it came out. It's available on Kindle in paperback and on Google Play, so support the channel and pick up a copy. All right, that's it for me. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.